Hello, my name is Colin Birchall and welcome to another Rapid Technologies vlog where we show off some of the latest technology on the market. Right now I'm stood in front of the DigiEasel, which we're very excited about here at Rapid, which is a 40-inch LED capacitive touch screen which has a built-in module for a number of different applications that your users might find useful. So right now you can see as I've come into the room, switched it on, and basically we've got it currently presenting in the what we call the portrait rotation. What we can do is if I rotate it to here, you can see I can now run it in the landscape format as well. And you'll see on the screen as we walk into the room, we're welcomed by a number of things. So we've got cast, whiteboarding, browser, and we can access some of our documents on there as well. So if I just turn our screen back to a portrait setting, very easy as you can see. And what I'm going to do is first of all show you cast. So what's very popular right now in the marketplace is wireless sharing onto LED screens in meeting rooms. So that means that users who come into the room can be using their mobile devices or their tablets or their laptops and be able to share content wirelessly in the meeting rather than looking for those cables and trying to plug in all that stuff. So you can see right now what I've done is I've selected AirPlay on our DigiEasel, and what I've got here is I've got an iPhone 6 that what I'm going to do is attempt to connect wirelessly to it. So what I'm going to do, all I do is follow the instructions on here. So it says open the control center by swiping up from the bottom of your screen, go to your screen mirroring option, and I can see right now I've got Lightcast available on there. So if I click on Lightcast, my phone will touch on the screen here and it will pick up what I'm doing exactly on the phone. So right now, if I was looking to scroll through my phone and maybe use an application, I can scroll through the phone, use any application that I want. And if I was to say, for instance, go into something like one of our applications that we use like RoomScan, I can actually pick this up. And additionally, what I can do is actually make annotations over this as well. So if I wanted to, I could make annotations over this. Capture it, into our whiteboard and then make annotations over it. So you'll see it's going into our whiteboard option right now, brings it up, and again, what I can do is make some annotations over that if I choose which pen I'm using, and I can make the annotations over like so. So what I can do now as well is I can leave here, I don't want to save this, and I want to go back to my phone. So you should see, bring us back to our shared phone. Here we go, and we're back on our phone. And what I might want to do is run another application. And what I might want to run on this occasion is a browser. So you can see here that we've got, I'm using an application called Nareva Span, which is an application that we use for the collaborative sharing. And what I can do is I can move content around on my phone, and you'll see it move on display. But I could be running a day-to-day app like LinkedIn, for instance, if I was with a social media company and I wanted to discuss someone's social media feed with them. You can see this is the ideal format for us to share that information, capture that information, and then share it with a wider audience, if you like. So really, really good solution for those social media companies, marketing companies who might be looking at using this sort of technology. I've finished my session, and what I want to do now is show you some of the other features that are available from the DigiEasel. So I'm going to go back to home. And like I said, we have a whiteboard. You saw me capture some stuff on there before, and you can see we've got a session going on here at the moment. But what I can do is, again, I can choose what device I'm going to use. So right now I'm going to use a pen, and I can actually start using this, or I can actually use my finger to make annotations. And again, all this content can be saved in a number of different formats for sharing. And in fact, from here, what I'm also able to do is I'm actually even able to email this out as a document to customers just by clicking on share, the share option here, and sharing it out via an email to my audience to get a quicker decision on our plans and our drawings. I can also as well from here, I can do things like save to a USB stick. There are some USB ports on the side, or I could just save my content on a stick and walk away with that with me, which is a really key thing. So just going back to our home here, the other thing I can do with this display is I can use a browser. So I've got a web browser that's built in, and again, anything that's on there, I can actually make annotations over. So you'll see that I've clicked on the pen tool here to make annotations, and what I can do now is I could discuss a website with my colleagues, some browsing or whatever, and I can actually continue to browse through our content here and add additional annotations as I'm moving along. And again, anything I'm doing in here I can capture and save. I can also just clear my notes down when I'm finished, or just restore them if I need to get that point across with the audience a little bit more anyway. So you can see there's some really nice features about this DigiEasel already that I feel that fits into a lot of businesses very quickly. The other thing as well, like I said, we can rotate it, and you saw me rotate it into a landscape feature before. I can do that again, and you'll see when I'm using the web browser, it will automatically adjust. But I think you'll agree that when you see DigiEasel, the way that it's in portrait, it actually gives you a better view of the website. It gives you more content on there. So I'm just going to move that back to the way it was. So we're back in portrait fashion. The other features about the board, I'm just going to clear down my notes, or just go back to take my pen off. Don't save. I'm going to go back to here. Going back to our home page here, or our home screen, I can also access documents as well. So if I've got documents on here, or I could preferably plug in a USB stick in the side and access documents from here as well. So if I wanted to plug in a USB stick, I can access my content from the USB stick. So if I went to my USB stick, you'd see whatever was on there basically. So that's just warming up for me. And there you go, there's all the content that I've got on there. And you can see that I could run a PowerPoint slide or pull up some images or photos that I wanted to use as well. So really, someone coming into the room's got content on there, can straight away pull it off, and if I wanted to bring up a spreadsheet or a Word document or wherever I want, it's got those reading capabilities in there. The final thing that I wanted to show you, which is a great feature about the board, is the fact that you actually have built into the display itself digital signage. So when the board's not being used for a collaborative session or a breakout session, we can actually use it as a digital signage player. And if I just if I just run my digital signage, you could see this could sit in the foyer of any business or whatever. We could have videos playing on there. You can see it's all full touch. And at the end of the day, I could interrogate this panel to find out more information about what I want to do or what I want to present. So you can see that I'm using the digital signage to access more information on there as well. So that is the DigiEasel in a nutshell. You can actually find out more information on our website, which is www.rapid.co.uk. Please visit our site. There is a special offers tab at the top of the screen, which will give you the latest special offers that we have on display. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it.